Halfway around the world, an East Texas school group is taking part in a historic anniversary. Across northern France, millions are making 80 years since the D-Day invasions of World War II. The Longview High School choir is representing Texas at several commemorations this week. And East Texas News Weekend's Lane Lucky is traveling with the Lobos on their journey to France. He joins us now with an update.
Good evening, Gianni. The students from Longview just arrived in Paris for the second leg of their tour. Earlier, they spent the day in the first village liberated by American paratroopers after D-Day in World War II. In Saint-Mère-Église, they've never forgotten what happened. It's cause for celebration year after year. Patriotism is on parade. 80 years after the Allies flew in to rescue this French village in the Battle of Normandy, Americans are back to stand in solidarity. And the choir from Longview High School is using their collective voice to send a message of hope. From inside the church immortalized in the 1960s film The Longest Day to the town square, these 28 student ambassadors are here to celebrate freedom and honor the sacrifice of so many.
How many men that died for us like all those years ago, and we're just out there just remembering what they did.
Really cool to be able to see all of those people enjoying their time and having fun.
For many of the students, it's their first time abroad. Their choir director is noticing personal growth with each passing day.
And they have been wonderful at just adapting and going with the flow and being flexible, and they're really the best kids.
It's an investment in their future, says Booster President Joseph Allen, who helped raise $170,000 to bring them to France.
They're learning a lot, they're getting along with other kids, and it's totally awesome. Totally awesome. We're even learning a new language, French.
Step by step, the Lobo Choir is closer to accomplishing their own mission of honoring those who answered the call to serve.
This trip has changed me in a way that I have this newfound kind of like gratefulness for the freedom that we have in America.
After several days soaking up history, the Lobos will now get exposure to the arts. Now that they're checked into their hotel, they have an early start tomorrow with a trip to the Louvre. Reporting in Paris, France, I'm Lane Lucky.
Lane will have more live reports throughout the weekend as the Longview students head to Paris. Be sure to watch our streaming channel, East Texas Now, for our D-Day in Focus coverage. You can also follow these updates and learn more about the 80th anniversary of D-Day on KLTV.com or KTRE.com. You can scan the QR code you see on your screen to visit our D-Day in Focus page, or click on the tab on our homepage.